person cases, and I'll be seeing them. And I came up across the case. I'm like, because there's so many African American cases that are people where people are missing that I say it's like, okay, let me take like 3 or 4 or 5 a week, and let's do these cases, you know.
Yeah.
And what I've been doing lately is I've been bringing the family members on people who've been missing for years to put more attention on the case because this is in Selma, Alabama. It's like
Yes,
a couple more. There's a couple more cases down there that I've seen people are missing. It's like, and that town is small from what I hear.
it
Did you
is
grow up?
still small.
Okay. Did you grow up in Selma too?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, we waiting on a couple more people to come on. Yeah, we streaming this live on Facebook and on YouTube, so everybody get to know your dad's story.
Okay.
Welcome, welcome everybody. Today I'm talking to who am I talking to? I'm sorry.
Jamaya.
We're talking to Jemiah. Her father, Eric Dewayne Blevins, went missing on July 29th, 2005, in Selma, Alabama. His his the whole circumstances around his missing case is a mystery. It's been 20 years. There's been no sign of him. He was 23 years old when he went missing, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And this is his daughter, Jemiah. She's going to tell us the story about her dad. First of all, how old were you when your dad went missing?
When my dad went missing, I was like 6 or 7 months when he passed away. Well, went missing, not passed away.
Okay, six. Okay, so you were 6 or 7 months when he went missing.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and what happened, and what are the circumstances that you heard about his disappearance?
So basically, I've been really hearing like a lot of mixed stories about his disappearance. Like someone, when I first heard about him, someone told me that when he came up missing, they fed him to the alligators, or he was in some type of drug or gang bang. I don't know what he was in, but they said that he owed whoever he was in tour with, and they did something with his body. But it's a lot of stories based on what really happened. But I really want to really know what happened to him because it's like they just threw his case out, and I don't like that because it's just not right for just to throw his case out. It's not right, and
So
everybody act like they don't know what really going on. But I really feel like somebody know what happened. They just not saying anything.
right. So I mean, like, where's the investigation in his case?
They said the last time they seen him was Travel's Ends at one, cause they like apartments. Travel Ends like apartments and things, like you could stay in them. And they said the last time they seen him when he was leaving there from one of his people's house. I don't know who house he was at. I don't know their name, but I just know that was the last place they seen him at.
That's the last place they saw him. So you don't know exactly what he was into, or like you said he was hurt. You said you heard he was into some shady things or like drugs. So you have no concrete, like you don't know exactly what he was into.
No, sir.
Has any of his family been able to shed light on his disappearance with you, like as to what happened? Because I was reading that he was supposed to have left a cousin's house at the
Yeah.
Travelers Inn apartment. Yeah. So did he actually go meet this cousin?
Um, I'm really not sure, but to me, I think he did because no, I have another story too that I wanted to tell you about.
Okay, go ahead. Let's go.
So basically, before my mom had passed, she was basically telling me about what happened, what happened to him and stuff, and she was saying like how him and my uncle, which is my mama brother, his name is Eric Winston, they had got into it because my dad had got mad and he threw a brick inside the window, but I was still like an orange baby when she
Okay.
had me, and he threw a brick inside the window. And ever since him and my uncle got the fine, he been missing ever since. Like after the day they got the fine, the next day he came up missing. So that could be a story too. I ain't trying to say he did anything to my daddy or anything, but you never know what people intentions is. Like you never know.
Right. Has your uncle ever said anything? Have you ever asked him about that?
I asked him about my dad, but when I asked him about it, we got into it, so I just left it alone. Like I never said anything else about it.
So he got into it all because of you asking about your father.
Yes, sir. And I be asking my grandfather, the White Woods. I be asking him about everything. I be asking for pictures and stuff like that. It's like they always rub me off every time I ask about him, and I don't like that because then that means you know something, you just hiding it from me. That means you.
Right. Right. And your dad was, he like I said, he was young. That's young. 23 to go missing, and like I said, so many stories surrounding his disappearance. Like I heard of the case probably one time,
Yes.
and his case, like a lot of other African American, cases,
Mhm.
get pushed to the back of the file. It
Yes.
takes for somebody to say something. So that's another reason why I be doing these videos to bring the families on. So maybe somebody see these videos, maybe their heart may change, maybe they want to talk because sometimes with the passage of time, people actually talk.
Yes, sir.
You know, so I'm very intrigued by this case, and I'm glad that you actually came on here and spoke to us, and talked about your dad, because it's been 20 years, but I know the not knowing part is the worst part of the whole situation. What does your mom think happened to it? I mean, do your mom actually think that her brother has something to do with your father's disappearance?
I don't think she was just telling me that to think that, but she was basically like just telling me a story about when the last time she had seen him and stuff.
Okay, I guess so. She got a story, and other people got stories too. So they
Yeah.
really don't know. That's why it's conflicting stories.
Mhm.
Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot. How have you dealt with this all these years? I know you were only 6 or 7 months, at the time, but what made you like? How
But
old were you when you started? When you really wanted to know what happened to him?
so what really happened, like how I really found out, because when I was growing up, nobody never said anything about me to my dad. I just thought he was like, just out there. But until I got to the age and I did some research, and then when I started meeting like my dad's side of the family, they was telling me, "Oh, you look just like your dad. You look just like your dad." And I would ask them like, "Who is my dad?" Because I never seen him before. And then it got to the point where I started getting older and I started realizing, okay, I could do something about this. I can't just let this slide. And I started searching his name up and stuff on social medias and stuff. And I had found that article. And ever since then, it just been on my mind, like real heavy.
So nobody never told you? How old were you when your mom passed?
I was 14.
14. Wow, that's young too. Both parents at a young age.
Yes, and I think my mom and my dad was the same age. So he got to be 42 right now.
So your mom would have been 42.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So um like so nobody ever went to the police and said, "Hey, this is what happened to Eric." No,
No.
there was never no tips or nothing.
No, no, sir. Speaking of the police, my granddaddy actually is a sheriff. He a sheriff for Alabama. I mean for Selma.
For seven police,
Yes, sir. He a sheriff. A sheriff. Yeah.
and they never investigated the case or brought the case up or anything like that.
They just closed his case, but I said that I had called the court office and they were saying that I could open back his case up his case on August the 17th of this year.
Why you gotta wait? Why you have to wait till August 17th to open the case back up?
I really don't know. It's really complicated. I don't know.
I don't know. It just seems kind of strange that they tell you, August 17th or give you a date on when you got to open up a cold case. Because he's been missing for 20 years, so it's definitely a cold case.
Yes.
It should be able to open up any time.
Yeah.
Um, so now his side of the family, first of all, his mom, his dad didn't know anybody. Nobody, they didn't have a clue, or his mom, dad didn't know anything. Because I heard his father was a sheriff too. Right? Is that right?
Yes, sir.
His father was the police at the time, right?
Mhm. But his mom, I never knew her. I only met her when I got to like in middle school, 7th grade type stuff, and I was like 13 when I first met my grandma, and the last time I only seen her one time because the next time I came around to see her, she had passed away. They were telling me she had passed away because she had cancer, so I couldn't really sit down and talk to her about the situation.
Okay. So, I mean, has had anybody been able to shed any kind of light to you on what happened? Not at all. So you basically
No.
you just reaching out, trying to find out some answers.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So have you had any help or anything like that?
No.
No help at all. I mean, have you reached out for help and like to ask different people?
Yes, one of my friends, her dad had just recently passed, and she told me to get a reading done on him, like a
Mm-hmm.
reading what really happened, like with the spiritual people. So I said I was gonna try one of those and to really see what really happened.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Cause yeah, you definitely deserve to find out.
Yes, sir.
What happened to your father. Like I said, it's just like I said when I read, there's so many stories, and then like there was different dates that he went missing on. It's like so it's like it's who's telling the truth
That's
and
why
what really who's telling the truth and what really happened to him.
hmm
Did they ever now? I mean, I know you're young at the time, but from when you recall, did they ever do any searches or anything like thing for him, or they just put out a missing person case? That's it.
I think back then they did a search for him and they had a prize reward out for 5,000, but I don't think nobody ever found him or anything.
And also too, Selma is a small town, right?
Mhm.
I hear that because, like I said, it's a couple other people. There's other people missing from Selma too.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, like how do you? I mean, if this town is so small, like what do you think is going on? What's happening? Why these people are going missing in Selma?
If you want to be honest, I really think people just like with the missing people, it
Uh,
either them burning up their body or doing something with it or just throwing them on the side, like or just like with the alligator situation. I kind of think that's true because if you get eaten by an alligator, who gonna know you got ate by an alligator? And
that's
nobody.
true. That's true.
So I really think that people be knowing what really going on. They just don't want to say anything because they know whoever did that to that person gonna come back for them. So that's why they probably ain't really saying anything about it.
Right, right. And like I said, he was young at the time. That's 23. That's young. That's young.
Yes.
So
And then from what I really ain't never heard anything bad about my dad. Like, ain't nobody never told me he was a bad person. They always told me he was a caring, love person. He loved the people. He always pick people before him, just like I do, because I do it all the time. Like, they never told me anything bad about him. So I don't know.
right. And I know it's kind of hard. Like again, not knowing, and then the people who you think that would give you answers, haven't had any answers for you. I know that's been very frustrating.
Yes. And it's just crazy because they don't know how it feel. Like, they always have something to say about it, but they really don't know how it feel. Knowing you never met your dad and he came up missing, then your mom passed right after that. Like, you don't got nobody else. Ain't nobody gonna treat you like how your mom and dad gonna treat you.
It's true.
And
It's true.
then it got to the point where it was rubbing on me to the point where I just stopped being myself at one point. Once upon a time, like I always used to be mad all the time. I used to always stay in stuff because it was just so much anger built inside of me. Like, it was just so much anger.
Right, right. I totally understand anger, frustration, stress. You
Mhm.
know, you had to weight you had to weight of the world on your shoulder at a young age. Like I said, losing your dad, going missing, then your mom passing. That's a lot.
Yeah, and then before my mom passed, I was already still in school and I was still young. And then she got sick. So I ain't had no choice but to step up and try to grow up fast to help my mom, even though we had a close bond. But she was sick, and it got to the point where she was sick. She used to always be mean and stuff, and we used to stay into it. But I used to always tell her sorry after. And it got to where the point where I really had to help her take her places, and it was just so much stress on me because I ain't had nobody there for the help. Like I had people there, like people were there to help my mom, but not how they supposed to be. Like they
Right.
there, and it made me grow up fast. And then when I started feeling myself, and I had my first child, and it just went from there. I had to mature up. I had to do better because I couldn't stay in my same mindset with everything going on and everything get put on me. So
Right.
I
Right.
had to hit on my big girl penis and do what I had to do. And I don't blame nobody else for my actions either because I know I did stuff I was supposed to do, but it's more to it too. It's not just me.
Right.
More to it.
Right. 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 But you know what? The first step is like owning up to everything and admitting everything, and you done that. So I commend you for that. Like I said, weight of the world was on your shoulders. How you strive. Honestly, to tell you the truth, I don't know. Me as a kid, I didn't have my parents around, but they're around when they run around. But to lose them that early, I don't know how it would feel. I don't know what I would do at that young age. To lose my parents. I can tell you that you're very strong, very
Yeah,
strong.
I tell myself that every day. I just keep going, and it just crazy. And I be seeing other people treating their mom and their dad wrong. I be telling them, hey, you better treat them while they here. You better treat them right while they here. Cause when they ain't here, ain't nobody gonna treat you like how they treated you.
That's
Everybody like you a trash bag on the side of the road. Cause I already experienced that already. So that's why I be telling people. I really be trying to give people advice and like really tell people my story for they can understand why I'm telling them not to do that. Because it is hard. Like I'm not even finna sit here and act like it's not hard. It is really hard.
right, right, right. It is. I know too. I lost my mom when I was 17, so I know how hard that could be by itself. So I definitely know. Um, your father, like I said again, his case. I think this is probably the first time that by you talking about it and we talking about it live. I think this is probably the first time a lot of people have actually heard about this case, which is
Mhm.
actually that's good because you always want to introduce somebody's case to the audiences. I'm also going to do a post for him too, and
Yes,
share
sir.
it in all the groups, and also too, if you see other missing groups, you can contact them too. They'll post their story. We can make sure he gets everywhere. I want to
Yes,
help you get answers. I don't know if I succeed in helping you get the answers, but I'll do everything in my power to try to help you as much as I can.
yes, sir.
That's,
And I really, really appreciate that because ain't nobody else gonna take that time out of the day to help me really to see what's really going on. And people claim they love him so much, but ain't doing nothing about it. Like I just don't understand that part either.
yeah, honestly, once upon a time, the world was about family. Now everybody kind of like about themselves.
Yes, and
So,
then that is so true. That is so true. It was.
you know,
But if you ain't doing nothing for nobody or you ain't there for nobody when they need you, they don't need you for nothing else. They don't check up on you or nothing anything. It's just all about them. It ain't about family no more.
it's a cold world out here. It's a cold
Yes, it
world.
is.
Right, definitely a cold world. So did your brother? I mean, I'm sorry. Did your dad have brothers and sisters and stuff like that?
Yes, my dad have a brother and a sister on his mother's side. His oldest sister is called, I don't know if she the oldest or the second oldest, but my auntie on my dad and mom's side is Sente Blevins, and he have a brother. I forgot his name. His last name is Blevins, and on his dad's side, I have an auntie named Juanisha Woods, Markeisha Woods, and um Kendra Nicole. Yeah, Kendra
So you mean
Nicole.
to tell me all these people around you, like, or that you know, and nobody never volunteered information, even when you asked for stuff like that?
I used to just like ask for pictures and stuff, and they used to tell me like they ain't have nothing of him, like they ain't never had nothing of him, like they don't have one. This the only picture I really have of my dad. This blue picture that when he went to jail. That's the only picture I have,
Yeah, and the one that I had was blurry, so I had somebody clear it up for me.
and I like it because it looks so much better.
Yeah, it does. It was like real blurry. I'm like, let me fix this before I go live. That's what I'm trying to do. This is the after picture. 23 years old. It'll actually be 20 years this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 20 years this year. This is Eric Dewayne Blevins, missing for 20 years from Selma, Alabama. Where he went and what happened that night is a complete mystery. His daughter, Jemiah, is trying to find out what happened to her father. Doesn't matter how long it takes. She's hoping that somebody out there gives her some answers. If you know
I don't,
anything about
I,
this case, please call the Selma, Alabama police. Let's get her some answers. It's been too long.
I don't care how hurtful it be. I don't care how bad it sound. I just want to know to like get like a little more stress off of me, cause it got to the point where I first started out, it was stressing me out so bad. Like it was just stressing me out.
I understand. I totally understand. Do you want to say anything else?
Um, all I'm gonna say is before we get off, if you have your mom and your dad and they still living, they provided for you and doing everything they can for you. It don't matter if they just giving you one piece of bread on the table. Appreciate that because when they gone, I'm telling you, nobody is gonna treat you how your parents treat you. I don't care if it be your sister, your auntie, your cousins. Everybody true colors are going to show when your parents pass away. And I'm telling you this for a reason because I already vouched this already. Soon my mama passed. I already know. I'm just telling y'all, please appreciate y'all parents while they here because when they gone, it is going to get hard. It's gonna get hard. It most definitely, if you don't have a support system for it, it's gonna get hard. So appreciate them while they here because it's not no joke. It's nothing to play with.
It's definitely not. I want to thank you so much for coming, Jemiah. Jemiah is here again. She gave the story of her father, Eric Dewayne Blevins, missing for 20 years. He went missing on July 29th, 2005, in Selma, Alabama.
And
You
I
have,
want to thank you for taking your time out today to really sit down and talk to me about my dad.
oh, no problem. And if you need anything else, or you think about something else, and you want to come back again and talk again, you're more than welcome.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on, and you have a good rest of the day.
You too. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right.